What's happening, Canes fam? How we feeling? How we feeling? Missy B in the building. Vaughn, what's happening, Vaughn? We are here for the second ever edition. Second ever? I don't know how to say that. Second ever CB Chalupa and Friends halftime live stream. And on today's episode, I have one of the GOATs of Canes Media, one of the best doing it on YouTube. You all know him. Kind of has a special place in my heart because you all know how much I love coffee. And my guy John from Cafecito and Canes is joining me on today's episode of Chalupa and Friends. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, dude?
Oh man, enjoying this what looks like Canes W, hopefully.
Mhm.
Impressive
Yeah.
first half so far, obviously. What we wanted to see. But I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the first half so far? 27 seconds left. We can call it. The first half
Yeah.
is basically over.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much what I wanted to see. Good, clean, scoring, early scoring often. The offense is just humming along. I literally have no complaints there except for, um, you know, Kobe Young's hands. There's a couple he should have hung on to. There's that one trying to get across the goal line. I get what he was doing. He was trying to break that plane, so he's loading up to try to stretch the ball across. And just that moment, he took that helmet to helmet, which I'm surprised they overturned, honestly, because
I thought it was okay, but when they showed the last angle that they showed, I had just tweeted out too. I was like, I don't think you should get penalized for that. And then they showed the last angle, and they were like, "Oh, from this angle, you could really tell. You could see him lead." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I can see why they stopped it." And
yeah,
then, and then as they turned me around, they were like, "Yeah, but no."
yeah,
That
but
was that was a little interesting to me.
yeah, no, just but the fact that it's Bethune, we're already up big. It's like, let the kid have his moment. I'm kind of okay with it, but yeah, man, if he just two-hand wrapped it up, worst case he's down at the one. So yeah, Kobe's got to do a better job with his hands, but we know how good he is normally with his hands, so I'm not too concerned there. Offense is humming along. I don't expect any of the starters to be playing the second half. Um, Defense, they let some runs sneak through. The run defense wasn't as great as I wanted it to be, but they kind of made up for it with the sacks. So the net rushing yards ended up being like 3 rushing yards for Bethune-Cookman or something. So, I'm fine with the defense. They're doing their thing.
I thought the same early. I was like I had said it out loud too. I was thinking, I was like, we're giving them too much on the ground right now, and
Yeah,
they seem that they've got some talent in their running back room for sure. Um, but I just felt like we're giving them a little too much. When you look at it overall, not bad as a team. I mean, they're averaging zero point 0.7 yards a carry, but that's ESPN factoring the sacks.
yeah,
4 carries, 19 yards. So he's averaging 4.8 a carry. And it early, especially early, it really did feel like that. Like it felt like, okay, we're giving them a little bit too much room on the ground. Um, the defensive line seems like they're playing really well too, especially some of the reserve. I mean, Ahmad Moten just looks really good out there. Ruben
mm,
Bain looks unblockable.
yeah,
He's looked really good. They got Jaden Wayne on the field early. I thought that was pretty cool. They started mixing in guys pretty early. We saw Damari Brown out there. Um, the chemistry between TVD and the receivers, it's clearly an established three. I think now we can confidently say that it's
yeah.
X, it's Jacoby, and it's Colby. The chemistry looks good between him and all three of them. They all picked up where they left off. Even like the way this first drive started, it felt like an extension of the last game. It felt like we just kind of picked up on the same momentum and same rhythm that we had, getting the ball out quick, letting Jacoby work, letting Colby work the screens. Xavier Restrepo is having a heck of a first half. 6 catches,
Oh yeah.
a buck 20
Oof.
in the first half.
Dude,
Made
how
a
about
couple tough catches too.
yeah, no, he looks great. And TVD, how about him? 19 for 23, 246 and 2 touchdowns. Like I think that's what he did pretty much all game against Miami of Ohio.
That's efficient too. I
Yeah,
love
super.
he looks so comfortable, doesn't he? Like we heard it during the spring, right? That he's comfortable in the offense, but
Yeah,
until it's live bullets, everybody's comfortable, right? Like everyone's comfortable in the spring, but he
Yeah.
still looks comfortable back there. He's making good decisions. His ball placement over the past couple weeks has just been really, really good. On one of those out routes to Restrepo, it was when he released it, I thought, oh, he's leading him too far. Like it's fine, second down.
Mhm.
And it like the margin of failure on some of these balls he's throwing is
Mhm.
very, very slim. And I just like the confidence that we're seeing from his arm, right? Because we thought, is the shoulder going to be back? For him to rip it on these kind of throws lets me know, okay, he's got the confidence in the arm, and TVD's looking like the old TVD.
Oh, 1,000%. And I think we can all agree that the finger is okay.
Yes,
I
the
know
finger's fine.
the finger's totally fine. I think people were concerned about that. And I was saying after that first game, guys, it was in the rain. The ball was wet. Let's not forget that. So
The finger looked fine last week. Okay, the
right a week later, man, that it's some miraculous healing over the span of 8 days before
I
the A&M
propose
game.
that after his first touchdown, he just like did jazz hands to the camera just to troll everyone, just to let everybody know that all 10 fingers are fine. What
Yeah.
did you think of the Don Chaney drive?
Oh, he chose violence today, man. Woo, Don Chaney, you could tell that on the first carry, he was going out there not just to go through the motions, not just to get his chunk plays, get his yards. No, no, no. He came out here to make a statement. He's like, I don't care who the opponent is. I'm punishing people today.
Nobody told Don Chaney this was a game to be taken lightly.
No,
He
no, no,
he,
no,
he
no.
strapped his pads on and
Ooh,
chose violence, like you said. I love that call from Dawson too. To see that Chaney's rolling like that and
hmm.
just keep feeding him.
Oh
I
yeah,
was
yeah,
screaming. I was like, run it again, run it again.
hmm,
I thought that was cool though to see Chaney running behind his pads again like that,
yeah,
running over defensive linemen. I mean, this is what we wanted to see when, in the spring when we heard he was healthier and looking good. We all just wanted to see Don Chaney looking like how we know Don Chaney can look. I
right.
think the all three of the running backs looked really good in the first half. They're probably sitting Fletcher is what it looks like. Let him rest up. Let him be ready for Temple.
Hmm.
So that's obviously a good idea. We've got a couple guys that are resting up, but AJ Allen looks fantastic. His patience, John, is incredible.
Hmm. Oh, yeah. No, they really all three of them, Cheney, Parrish, and AJ Allen, have great vision, great patience. That one move that Cheney put on that dude, where he pretty much like stopped in the backfield and like looked at him and then kept going.
Just sidestepped him. I did the Chris Berman whoop when he did it. Like
Yeah,
I was, yeah. Cheney is definitely a man on the mission. This thing is something that's starting to bother me though. Why
yeah.
do we continue to field punts not just inside the 20, inside the 10?
On the 6 yard line, I think it was the
It's
first
that.
punt.
So games like this, I like to tighten up stuff like that.
Yeah.
Tighten up the little things. Do the little things right.
Hmm.
Don't get it into your head that it is ever okay to field that punt. Dante Hall was the only one with the okay to do that. Like
Yeah.
it's the little things in games like this I want to see. You know what I mean? Like we've done a good job. No, not a lot of bonehead, penalties, false starts, or things like that. I like to see things like that in these kind of games.
Hmm.
Cross your T's, dot your I's, execute, and then get the starters off the field.
Yeah. No, I agree. I do not want to see, at least on offense, I don't want to see a single starter in that second half, especially the following guys: TVD, Matt Lee.
Oh yeah.
Well, on the O line, I would say Matt Lee, Jalen Rivers, Inez Cooper. To me, those are like the three most important. Um, yeah, I don't want to see any of those guys in the second half. Cam McCormick, no. But
No,
I noticed first half, Riley Williams was in there
a
lead blocking.
lot.
Yeah, so
Did you
I know.
notice Skinner got out there a little bit in the second
Yes,
quarter?
and
That was good because I've been a little worried as to what was going on there. Maybe there's a nagging injury we don't know about or something, but it was good to see him get on the field.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think he had a little something, but I think it was more just him earning the playing time. It was more that it was more of a mental thing. So it's good to see him get in there and throw a couple of decent lead blocks. Maybe we see a little bit more of him in the second half. I mean, the tight end room is a little thin, so I would imagine we're going to see more of him in the second
We're
half.
going to see more of him.
There's not many
I'd
other guys.
imagine we see Jackson Carver, Riley, and him quite a bit.
Yeah.
So let's get into it because they're already starting in the comments. So who are some of the guys you're looking forward to seeing in the second half?
Okay. I definitely top of my list. I would love to see Emory Williams get at least a quarter. Kind of treat this like a preseason NFL game. See him get a quarter, maybe Jakari get the fourth quarter or something like that, or just see Emory get the entire second half. Either one would be fine with me as long as Emory plays today, because true freshmen, these FCS games are super important for the true freshmen to get in there and kind of
get those reps,
get those reps in, and just polish off his game a little bit. Maybe try some things that he might not want to try against like North Carolina or a bigger game. It's he can go in there, take a few risks maybe, and gain some confidence. That way, if he's called upon, hopefully he won't be, but if he's ever called upon in a game that matters, he's a little more ready. Because he went in there and threw 3 touchdowns against Bethune. He's done it before. So, yeah, I would love to see Emory. I would love to see a little bit of Shamar Kirk, because I was excited when we got him.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
I was excited when we got him in the offseason. After seeing his tape, I'm like, oh, man, that dude in space, I'm liking that.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
He was actually my pick for someone who could possibly grab that second receiver spot. Now, Jacoby has grabbed it and ran with it.
Yeah.
But they remind me of each other, especially after the catch. I'd like to see that too. On the defensive side, is there anyone that you're hoping can get some meaningful snaps out there?
Yeah, I mean, let me try to think. Jaden Wayne for sure.
Yes.
I think some heavy rotational snaps in this second half would be great for him. The young linebackers, Malik Bryant, Popo, Marcellus Pulliam, like this would be a great half to see them get in there and knock some heads.
And Washington. Together too. That's great experience together.
Right. Build that rapport with each other. I'm loving that. That young linebacker room reminds me a little bit of, I don't know how far back you go as a fan, but like when Sean Spence and Colin McCarthy and that crew kind of came in, and they were all like freshmen at the same time. Like it kind of like that, but even more like there's more bodies. And
they're crazy versatile too. All of them, Malik Bryant and all of them. Mm-hmm. This one, Chris Johnson, we have to take the cover off the Ferrari today.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see. He's suited up. I would love to see it. I feel like they want to redshirt him because we haven't seen him early, so limit his playing time. I feel like Bethune-Cookman's a good game to get him out, like you said earlier, just get some on the field experience. Get him out there with some live bullets. Let him see what he can do. I would be really, really excited. I like the play called to Ray Ray. They didn't execute that play well, but I like that play called to Ray Ray. I like using him as a gadget. Now, I like that, but you have to do the work up front. You can't allow penetration on a play like that. When he's got nowhere to go.
Yeah, and I think I just think Bethune kind of sniffed it out.
That's interesting. Rosser said Ja'Cory isn't playing, so maybe they do give Emory the entire second half.
I'd be fine with that as long as it's Emory.
Yeah.
Like, I would not have been okay with like Ja'Cory playing the entire second half. Like no. Get Emory in there at least for a quarter.
This is a good question from King David. Do we think they're going to use a tight end more in the second half of the season? What do you think?
I mean, the healthier, it all depends on Elijah Arroyo, I think. The healthier he gets.
I would imagine that's the key to it.
The healthier he gets.
And I'm sure Dawson wants to. I don't think it's a situation where he doesn't want to. I mean, we saw a lot in this first half. Riley and McCormick out there that's running 2 tight end sets. Mm-hmm. He definitely has it in his playbook. I think just the guy he probably would feature is one that's still a bit banged up right now. But Elijah Arroyo is extremely talented. So I think, and also, it's not to say that one of the young guys doesn't develop quicker than we thought. Riley Williams is getting more snaps, and I think we all thought he would get this early. Yeah. So who's to say, he doesn't start building some confidence from Dawson, and maybe he gets worked in. So no, there's a great shout from 305 Sports. Now, my guy, Harrell and
Hmm.
Kirk. I think it's a good game to get the guys who came in late. A lot of the late transfers who didn't get
Hmm.
a chance to learn the offense and get acclimated, they're still catching up. I think this was a good game to get them out there. And then you never know. Maybe Kirk gets a ball on a bubble screen and shows or reinforces to the coaching staff what he can do. And Dawson goes, okay, next
Yeah.
week, at least 5 snaps. Like, I got to find a way to put him in. This is also a
Hmm.
game for some of those reserves to earn some playing time.
Hmm. Oh, totally agree. Yeah, him, Tyler Harrell, Chris Johnson. Yeah, get some of that speed in there because Bethune, they're going to be tired now in the second half. So you know,
Yeah, they are. So this
yep,
is interesting. Rossa says they're going to strategically use Ja'Cory's 4 games so that they can use him in certain packages. That's Dawson being a mad scientist. So then it's great
yeah.
to get these reps then, just in case, because
Hmm.
we are a bit thin in the quarterback room. So you do want to get Emery these reps. I think that's a great idea. Popo,
Yeah.
definitely want to see Popo. Oh, Bobby Washington, another linebacker. I'd like to
Hmm.
see Bobby Washington out there too. Another Robbie on offense too.
Hmm.
Robbie Washington. I want to see just some of the other receivers. We haven't really seen a deep rotation from
No.
the receiving core yet. So I think it'll just be good to let some of the other guys get out there and see what they can do.
Yeah, but for once, it's because the three starters have played so well.
Yes.
It's not
Isn't
because
that
of
great?
yeah, it's not because of stubbornness. And
Is it?
we're clamoring for the young guys to get in there, and they're just not until the games don't matter anymore. Then they put them in. No, it's because the three guys have dominated, and they just haven't found many opportunities. So it's for good reason, not because
I
anything negative.
think if there's one massive positive I think we can take away from this offense so far in these first 3 games is the offensive line. Two of the position groups that we were all a little trepidatious on coming into the year. How would the new offensive line gel? Because we all had the same common idea that look, we just have to protect our quarterbacks no matter who's back there this year. They can't run for their lives like they were last year, and we can't drop passes. The receivers have to get separation. I think both of those position groups really solidified themselves already and early, which let me tell you, that was a big whew for me. Just
Hmm.
seeing, Inez Cooper and Cohen up front, it put me at ease after that first game. Seeing how we could run the football, keeping TVD upright. I feel like now it's just time to build the depth, especially on the offensive line. We've got a lot of younger guys behind our starters. Like, it'll be good to see McCoy get out there. It'll be good to just see, even Okunlola, who hasn't gotten, snaps. It'll be good to see Samson get out there and see what he can do. The
Hmm.
Luna brothers as well. Actually, one of them, I think it was either Colby or Riley was one of the special teams players of the week.
Hmm.
Harold deep ball.
Anthony Campbell, yeah.
Campbell, another defensive tackle, Josh Horton. It'd nice to see. It would be good to see Josh Horton. Collins
Hmm.
Achiampong would be nice too.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of O line, that's another one. There's the class was so big, the 2023 class. You forget about certain guys. Yeah, I would love to see Pancake maybe come out at left tackle in the second half and just he takes the entire second half at left tackle. That'd be great to get him
That would be
that
really good.
experience. Yeah, because I mean,
I almost forgot about some of them. I saw Tenelau on the sideline, and I was like, "Oh
yeah,
yeah, Frankie." So he's probably redshirting this year, but I think this is a good chance to get some of those guys in and get some of that. Like I said, some of that depth in the backfield. For me, it's CJ. I don't want to continue to run Cheney if you don't have to. So I'd like to see CJ Allen, get Walden out there too. I feel like this would be a good game. Well, look, we've got Cheney. We've seen Cheney is firing on all cylinders, right? I don't think we need to see anything else from Cheney. I'd like us to sit Cheney. Cyrus Moss is someone I have not seen much of. It would be good to get him out there, get
hmm.
him some reps. Another young guy, Robert Stafford at corner. I think we'll see a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of the young guys. Jaden Harris getting some more reps in the second half would not be a bad idea, just because if he is thrown into another situation like this where he has to play, like he started this game, it would be good to just get him some more reps. Him and Marquis.
yeah, yeah. Just get him
Yeah,
more comfortable. I agree with that.
but I just want to see them execute. In a game like this in the second half, even with the freshmen that come in or the sophomores that come in, just because they are the reserves, quote unquote. I still want to see them execute. I still want to see them get off the field on third down on defense, quarterback pressures. I still want to see all those things. I think this is just time for us to see what we're building towards now. What's we get to
Yeah.
see a glimpse into the future in the second half here, and that's
Hmm.
always exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of the future, how about that big commit right before kickoff?
That was awesome. Getting
Yeah.
5-star defensive lineman Armando Blunt, probably, honestly, let's be honest, if not the one of the best defensive linemen in the 2025 class, kicked off his season with 6 sacks at Miami Central. He is just an absolute monster, dude. And what a great time to do it, right? Right before the game, get everybody hyped up. The
I know.
2025 class doesn't have much, but right now, Luke Nickel, Wade and Charles, Armando Blunt, they are cooking up something really nice in the 25 class.
That's about as good as it gets, and like three three of the most important positions on the field too. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
that QB receiver, combination, and then that, you know, stout defensive lineman, the who at 6'3", 250 at this young of an age, I'd imagine he's probably going to be like a three technique D tackle. I'm assuming. Who knows? It's
He,
early to say if he'll be an edge rusher or move inside, but he seems like a thicker dude that might move inside and at the college level. So yeah, that's just, again, another position that people thought, we, for whatever reason, we couldn't recruit, we couldn't land big guys. And I just kept saying, like a lot of us you probably said the same thing, that like,
same
just
thing.
wait for the season to start. Let us get some wins under our belt. You'll see things will start to shift. If we win the A&M game, everything changes. And look what happened.
And look what happened.
Yeah.
So many of them wanted to just see. Like, so I talked to a lot of them after the game, after the A&M game, to write an article for All Hurricanes.
Hmm.
And the consensus was, I could see myself in the defense now. I can see myself in the offense now. The receivers are,
Yeah.
when Kobe did this, I saw myself as this. Like the linebacker Elijah Melendez said he watched Maui Noah on defense the entire game. He watched Kiko. He said in the whole game, I watched Kiko like it was me. I just pictured myself as Kiko the whole game. He was
Hmm.
like, and I said, and how was that experience? He was like, I want to be in that spot. Like, because I could see myself moving around and how he blitzed him, played
Yeah.
him in coverage. They needed to see it. We had 2 new coordinators, right? So you have to let them see what this is actually going to look like.
Hmm. Yeah.
And who knows where it goes from here, right?
Yeah, no, and like I believe in momentum, with recruiting and wins, and if we keep getting a few, like just getting off to a hot start. If we, let's say we beat Temple, Georgia Tech, we start 5-0. I think it's just going to help, and then maybe we bring in another blue chipper, and then that's more blue chippers are going to see that, and then they want to be part of the class. It's like a snowball effect.
That's the one part people don't account for is the perk up that the other recruits get when they go, he went where? Oh,
Hmm.
let
Like I want to
me
play, I want to play next to that guy. Yeah,
yeah, like
of
you
course.
start going, man, I wouldn't mind playing defensive end next to Armando Blunt, or I wouldn't mind playing middle linebacker there because if he's gonna eat up blocks like he does already, now I'm playing free. So I
Hmm.
think there is something to that momentum. Everyone wants to win. So when you see 5-star defensive, he's the best defensive lineman in the class. I'd like to play on the other side of him, especially selfishly as a defensive end. They're gonna double him.
Of
Um,
course.
oh, looks like second half is about to kick off. John,
Yep.
thank you so much for coming and hanging out during halftime, man. Um, these
No,
are
thank
fun,
you.
obviously, because we get to just chop it up about the first half and
Hmm.
look forward to the second half. Quickly, what is your prediction on the final score?
Final score. Listen, I heard somebody talking about this, that Bethune Cookman's head coach is like, he and Mario coach together, so they have a great relationship and they know each other from before. So I could totally see us getting like into the low 50s and probably taking our foot off the gas quite a bit. So like, I don't know, 52-7, something like that.
I originally said when we did the predictions for our Hurricanes 68-3, but actually didn't know before the game, before they showed, that Mario coached. So I could see, Mario
Yeah.
not wanting to, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Let's execute and go home with a W. So, 58-7, because I could see them getting they've got some talented skill players over there, so I can see them getting loose in the second half and getting themselves a score.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Thank you again, buddy, for coming on. I gotta be on your channel soon because I love coffee and I love Canes, and you are the man.
We'll have some cafecito, man. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's get back to the game. Go Canes, guys.
Go Canes.
Thank you, everyone, for showing up. Like, share, subscribe, all the fun YouTube stuff that I forget to say. Thank you, everyone. Shout out to John, Cafecito and Canes. Go follow him now.